Okay, so look what I got in the mail today, and this is Too Faced collaboration, The Power of Makeup with Nikkietutorials. So I thought I would just kind of show you and give you my first impression, and I'm going to do an eye look today too, which I may do and share a get ready with me like next week or something with it, but I don't know yet. So I guess it does, this palette is $56 and it does come with some other makeup goodies. And when I first saw this packaging, I thought it was actually kind of tacky. And I'm not, I'm not a cheetah print, animal print kind of girl. I just don't like it really. But I saw this in person and it really is much prettier than I thought it would be originally when I saw people talking about it before it was released. So, in this little package you get the Too Faced makeup guide, and it's just Nikkie giving you some different looks. And you get the Better Than Sex mascara, and this is purple, which I'm super interested to try today. I hadn't decided whether or not I was going to do like a purple look or I hadn't decided at all what I was going to do. And you get this glittery silver glitter. And you get the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. And you get a full-size Too Faced sketch marker. So let's look at the palette. Let's take a sneak peek before I go ahead and do my eye makeup, and then I will come back and tell you what I think. Now, when I first opened this, my palette was a bit dirty. My bronzer down here had there was chunks everywhere. I do have to say the Chocolate Soleil bronzer does smell like chocolate, which is nice. And this is definitely, this blush right here, the Justify My Love, is sparklier than I thought it would be. It doesn't really show up on camera, but I figured that one, Ivy, is not as creamy as I would like it to be, so it's kind of disappointing, but not a big deal. This one's really pretty. This is sugar coated. And Frosted Yum. Ooh, Frosted Yum is really, really, really creamy. I'm actually thinking that I'm going to do Frosted Yum today. Irresistible. Ooh, Irresistible is really, really creamy as well. Painkiller. Ooh, I like the feel of Painkiller. I think that Painkiller is going to be a really good transition color for me because I'm really pale, and that's something that really struck my eye with this palette. This is Makeup and Chill Mystic Hour. I was really, really excited to see what Mystic Hour was going to look like. Oh, and it is very pretty. Wham Bam. I think I'm going to use Wham Bam today because it is a very, very pretty purple. And wanted this matte black. And see, I don't feel like this black is very creamy at all either. It feels kind of chalky like the Ivy does. So that's slightly disappointing, but not a big deal. I was looking at this mainly to be a travel palette with me. You've got a highlight, you've got a bronzer, blush, eyeshadow. And when I travel, I don't always take an eyeliner. I just take a black or a brown and put under my eye. So I am going to go ahead and go do my eye look, and I will be right back. Okay, so I finished my makeup, and I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on this palette. So I was definitely disappointed in this Ivy and, Wanted, this black color. They were definitely chalkier than I would have liked them to be. On my eye look today, I used the Ivy, I used Frosted Yum, I used Painkiller, Makeup and Chill, Wham Bam, and I did use some of the Chocolate Soleil bronzer and the Champagne Truffle color here. So I loved how creamy that some of these more glittery shades were, and I think that these two browns are creamy enough. I mean, they may not be as creamy as like the Wham Bam and the Irresistible and the Frosted Yum and the Sugar Coated, but they're still pretty creamy enough, and I had no trouble blending. They didn't come patchy or anything, but the Ivy I had to work just a little bit with more and wanted, because they can be kind of patchy just because they're slightly chalky. And I used the Justify My Love on my cheeks today. Now, I don't normally wear blush, so that was a nice change. And I love this peach shade. I actually may use it as an eyeshadow just because it's really pretty, and so far this summer I've been really into the whole kind of peach pinky eyelid color. The Chocolate Soleil in this palette is definitely less pigmented than their regular one. I'm a huge fan. It is the only bronzer that I use, so I'm going to swatch that for you and show you that it's definitely less pigmented, but not a big deal for me. It's something I'm going to be using while traveling. This is ideal for me traveling. It is nice and slim. I can throw this, my foundation, a couple brushes, and I'm ready to go. I hate having a lot of stuff with me when I'm traveling, so this was the reason I picked up this palette. If you are like kind of a collector and you must have everything by this brand and that kind of thing, I would say go ahead and pick it up. All of the eyeshadows, I would say, don't live up to the Too Faced kind of standards, the standards that the Chocolate Bar palette set, just the consistency. The eyeshadows don't really have the really nice creamy like consistency throughout, but I do still think this is a must-have palette. If you are somebody who kind of only wants palettes with eyeshadows that are nothing but the best, then maybe you would skip this one. But I do think overall that it's a really nice palette, and it will be something that I use often. I do think that this Champagne Truffle highlight down here definitely is not bright enough for me anyway. I love that the pigmentation that it has in the Chocolate Bar, and it just does not have that in this palette, and I know that that's meant to be an eyeshadow and not a highlight, but I like how pigmented it is. And I have all kinds of stuff all over my hands, but those are those two next together. See, this one just looks a little bit more subdued and a little bit more white. So, I mean, overall, I really, really like this palette, and I will continue to use it and continue to love it. And so those are just my overall thoughts. I do think it is something you may want to pick up, just depending. It just really depends on your preferences. Will these colors look good on you? Will it be something you use? Do you collect Too Faced palettes? You know, that kind of thing. And that's really going to be what you're thinking about. And right now, if you want this Purple Better Than Sex mascara, the only place that you can get it is this palette. And I think that it's really pretty. I have it on today, and you can't really tell, not really. Maybe if you're up in my face and have kind of like a bright light looking, it just really kind of looks natural somewhat. Like this purple, it looks really like bright and in your face, but it doesn't show up quite bright and in your face. It's a very nice subdued kind of purple on the lash. So that is my final conclusion with the Nikkie palette,